So far we've used the color replace command to select the dress and change it from one hue to another. We've then mopped up any bits that missed using the color replacement brush, and we've also got rid of some of the highlights there that weren't adjusted by the other two tools using an ordinary brush and a darken blending mode. So we've pretty much got the dress selected there now. As you can see, we've got semi-transparent bits showing the skin colour through, which it would do of course, and we need to tidy up the rest of the shot now because we've got paint in the poor girl's hair, stuck in her eyes, it's on the walls as well, so we need to tidy that up. And to do that we'll use a good old-fashioned layer mask. Now in Photoshop CS you can just click the add a mask icon to clip a mask to this layer and then use a black brush to spray out bits you want to hide on the layer that's connected to the mask, but we can't do that in Elements without stealing one from a handy adjustment layer. So let's do that by clicking here to get an adjustment layer. Anyone will do really, but levels is always the one I go for. And once that appears, just click OK. We don't want to change any of the levels, we just want to purely pinch this mask and attach it to this layer. And to do that, drag down the bottom like so, move between the two and hold down the Alt key and you get this clipping option there, and that clips the mask to the attached layer. We can now grab the ordinary brush tool and get a black foreground brush, because black makes these bits of the pixels on this main layer transparent if we click and select the mask. And then what we can do is just start to click and spray, and you can see as long as the brush is 100% opacity, we're making a black mask spray there. You can see it appearing on the mask and it's hiding the hair from this layer. If I turn off the background layer you'll see that actually you can't really see that at the moment because there's nothing on the layer below, but basically it's making a hole in this top layer. So let's carry on spraying and getting rid of the bits that we don't need to see. I'm going to Control plus to zoom in because we've got some bits stuck to the edge here. Now this is our most challenging bit here. I'm going to go and use the left square bracket to scale the brush down to about 90 or 80 pixels, and then just click and spray just up to the edge of the dress. Go even smaller. It's a much quicker way than having to go up and change the brush size using this slider here all the time. I like my square brackets. And then even smaller just to go up into the corner there like so. And if you do make a mistake like that, just go and use a white brush and spray the detail back in again. It's non-destructive editing, so no pixels are actually really being made transparent, and you can swap around quite happily and show and hide whatever you fancy until it's perfect. So there we have detail there. Let me just make this bit solid just to make sure we don't lose anything under the arm. And there's another bit there. X is good. X swaps the foreground and background around. So if I want to get rid of something, there's a bit of black, like so. And if I want to restore something, then I can just press X again and start spraying white. So that's a very handy tool shortcut. Okay, so we're still on black. I'm going down the edge of the dress. And of course along the wall like here. I'm just going to concentrate on the bits directly around the edge of the girl for the moment. I'm not going to worry about anything that's further away from those edges. You've got some reflection here which has taken up the colour. Actually I can use a large brush because there's no areas down here that need to be green, so I can just spray. I don't even need to worry about going around the edge of the legs too accurately until we get to near the dress, because the dress is the only thing we're interested in protecting. Scale down again here and just get rid of that spill that we had like so, and there's a little bit there on the finger, so let's just go in even smaller and fine tune it. And on the necklace too, there's some of the beads that have changed colour, especially just down here. Okay, so I'm just going to carry on like that and tidy up the edges until I'm happy. Of course there's also this bit in the neck that needs to be fixed, so it's very quick to use layer masks to fine-tune problem sections. So we've used black to make things transparent and white to make things solid, but if we go to a semi-transparent brush of about 50% opacity, you can see that's making it grey, and that allows us to reduce the intensity of bits that look a little bit too fluorescent, like this bit of green here. So if we just click and spray, that just takes the edge off a little bit. If that's too strong a reduction, Control Z, take the opacity down even more to something like 29%, and then just click and spray, and that just takes some of that colour saturation down a little bit by making this area semi-transparent to mix the green layer with the original layer below. So there's the dress which has been fine-tuned. Now you can see the transparent sections showing the skin below, and the rest is all dyed green, but you've also got the walls and some of the floor as well looking green too. So target the mask, grab a marquee tool like the polygonal lasso tool, and then just click and draw very quickly around the dress, like so. Make the last point over the first, and then select inverse that, click on the mask, and then just fill that with black. And that masks the rest of the selection, so we don't need to worry about it. There you go, the walls are now clean from green, and we just have the dress being dyed now. Okay, so there's our complicated selection with the lacy bits still showing the skin tones below, but all of the other sections are now dyed a green instead of cream. Now, once we're finished doing that, we can actually take the opacity of this layer down. If it looks slightly too fluorescent, for example, then you can reduce the opacity and mix it with the layer below to get a more natural looking or pastel type colour, maybe something like 85%, 87, maybe 88. It'll give you a more subtle and less fluorescent looking dress colour. Let's just flatten everything down by going to More, Flatten Image. Quickly finish things off by creating a new layer, set that to darken again, and I'm just going to zoom in, and any bits that are still not quite dyed correctly, like a bit of lace down here, we can just click and spray with the darken blending mode layer, allowing us to darken the lace without changing the skin tone from the finer texture below. Here we go, there's bits on the sleeve there too. And voila, there's a wide selection of different colour replacement tools all working together to tackle a very complicated selection challenge.